Are you considering a move to the greater Boston area? Are you wondering how to be successful in our highly competitive market? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, I'm going to share with you our buyer consultation process that we take you through to help educate you about the process and the way that we find out what your goals, needs, and aspirations are for your first home. I'm Jane. I'm a realtor based in Wellesley, Massachusetts, and this channel is all about educating you to make you a more informed buyer to help you find success in the buying process. Please subscribe as I put out a new video each week. The first thing I'm going to do is suggest that we schedule a Zoom call, and I'm going to ask you all kinds of questions to get a sense of what your timing is, what you're looking for, how much space you need. I'm going to ask you about your commute, whether you travel on business. Do you need 1 or 2 home offices? We're going to talk about space requirements in your wish list. We always say there's the want to have and the need to have, and those are not always the same. So we try to make sense of that. We'll talk about home style, what kind of a community you're looking for. We have everything in the Metro West area, from an urban vibe like a Wellesley or Needham to a pretty sleepy town center like Dover or Sherborne. We have excellent school systems. We're very lucky here that the public schools are also strong, that there's lots of options. There's also some larger towns and towns that are a little further out. So sometimes we find that people start their search in Newton, Wellesley, Arlington, and then they decide maybe they want something quieter, or maybe they want something where they get a little more bang for their buck. So we're going to recommend a whole lot of towns for you to consider. Once we get a sense of that, we're going to talk about timing. So it's never too early to have this consultation and get the ball rolling, even if you're 6 to 12 months out from buying. Because one of the things that we'll share with you is the peaks and valleys of the market, even in what's still considered a seller's market. Every year, no matter how strong the real estate has been, we always see that the fourth quarter is quieter. The summer is quieter. The most people are house hunting from January to June. We have a lot of people relocating from Boston. Maybe they're in a condo or an apartment and they want to get out of a lease that ends around June 30th. Maybe they have kids to get scheduled in school before September 1st. So that tends to be the time that we see the highest prices and the biggest demand. What we find on the seller side is that we're struggling to get stuff on the market in the winter months, just because sometimes sellers aren't quite ready, because they also want to close in June. Maybe they just prefer to wait when their flowers are blooming, or it's nicer out, or maybe the weather hasn't cooperated. So in the past couple of years, 24, 25, we've seen more inventory coming on late spring. So then all of a sudden buyers have more choices. So if you're a buyer, if you can, consider scheduling your major search during the quieter June through August. And then we do have a fall market that's basically Labor Day to Thanksgiving. Generally, prices are a little softer in the fourth quarter. Interestingly, this fall of 2025, we are seeing things sit a little longer, but they might still go at asking or above, even if it's 2 weeks past the listing date. I think we're going to see that continue just because mortgage rates are coming down a little bit. If homes are coming on in great condition, there is still a crowd of people checking them out. Once we've talked about all of those aspects of the search and found out what your goals and needs are, we're going to actually start the search. I always set you up in an MLS search so I can get parameters and have all the towns you're interested in feed to your email. But a lot of people are already used to searching on realtor.com. Zillow is a popular one. So if those platforms work for you, that's totally fine. In MLS, however, you can request a search. We're also always beating the bushes to find out what's coming on the market that is not on the market yet. Douglas Elliman has a private listing site. Sometimes sellers don't want to put their homes on the market in public for a number of personal reasons. So we're always keeping an eye out for those things for you as well. Then comes a really fun part when we start actually shopping. It's a great idea to start going out and going to open houses on weekends, because there is no better education than for you to see a house with your own eyes than see what it closed for. So I encourage buyers to do as much in-person real search as possible. Also, if you're trying to decide between the towns, it's a great idea to spend a couple hours in different communities on a weekday afternoon or a Sunday. Go get a coffee, check out the library, check out the town's facilities, just to see which one feels like the right fit. An important part of the pre-buying process is getting underwritten or approved by a lender. We have a couple different lender partners that we work with a lot. I have done another video with Shant Banosian, the president of Rate, and we love working with his team because they have lots of different programs for every different type of buyer, for every type of situation. They stay on top of the process and they close on time. It's important to get started on the pre-approval to make sure there are no surprises on your credit report, to find out what a particular interest rate will translate into for your monthly carrying costs of a home. That will help you refine and define what price point you'd like to be searching in. Shant's team will figure out all carrying costs from insurance to taxes, also tell you what you're going to need for closing costs. Rate has a program called Power Bid. And what that does is puts you all the way through the underwriting process. So when you're making an offer, if you find a house that you're in love with, and we think there's going to be a lot of activity and multiple offers, we can be super competitive with your offer because the seller knows you're financially sound. So remember, be open to multiple towns. There's lots of different places where you can make your garden grow. Remember to consider shopping in the softer summer or fall markets instead of the super hot spring. And remember to visit, spend some time in these communities just to see which one feels good. When you're actually making an offer, one of the things we do to help you feel confident about the numbers we're putting forth is we run comparable recent sales to show you what similar homes have sold for in the last few months so that you can get a good idea of what we think this house will trade at or what it will take to win it. Now, that doesn't always happen. Maybe there aren't multiple offers. The homes in best condition are the ones that tend to have the most offers. So I always tell people if you're open to renovating kitchens or baths, then you might find that it's not quite so competitive in the marketplace. In October of 2025, Massachusetts has a new law that is coming soon that guarantees your right to a home inspection. I actually feel good about that because I've always advised all my buyers to always do an inspection, even if other people were waiving them. Sometimes we'll do a pre-inspection. Of course, you want to have a chance to kick the tires and open the hood if you're on the biggest asset you're ever going to buy. There's a state law coming mid-October that will guarantee that right. So as we have more information about that, we will share it. If you're thinking about moving to the Metro West area of Boston, please reach out as my team and I would love to help you. And if you're looking at other towns in Massachusetts, definitely start with us because we can find you a local expert regardless of where you're shopping. Check out my other videos. I've got lots of information about different towns. And remember to subscribe as I'll keep them coming every week. So thank you so much for watching and best of luck to you with your home search.